So we've shifted from day one, which was the tail end of the spot, to animation and the famous cat, to now day two, which was the beginning of the video spot that transitioned to about the 20-second mark. So throughout the entirety of day two, it was still night. We wanted that evening dark look, but it was at the headquarters of Fair & Fair, which they are in downtown Jacksonville. So we started inside, made our way outside. We wanted to make sure we got our talent in and out at a reasonable hour, even though crew call was 8 p.m. So still not really a reasonable hour, but that's what was agreed upon and requested. So everyone knew they were just going to be there late. While we were inside with them, we continued the same trends and vibe of day one, which was a single key source, primarily from our M18, book lighting almost all of our setups, while using the other M18s as fill and background light. And their building's really interesting. They have their main lobby. It's on the bottom floor, and then they have floor 2 and floor 3. So those M18s, we were utilizing them on the second and third story balcony, shooting them either across the opening of the lobby or down a long hallway where small doorways or balconies were being seen in some of our frames, and just allowing that light just to bounce around and hit all the glass and all the artwork and all the metallic objects that were in its path. Now, we still had to have some floppies kind of as some siders, making sure we didn't have any spill, any lens hits, which we did have a few of those, but obviously once G&E were able to block out the edge of frame, making sure we didn't have any unwanted lens flares, we still got some beautiful motivated light. Clearly can tell that it was evening even within the building, and still giving us that moonlight feel. So we shot it all in a very particular order, but in the order you see it within the spot, you see Chuck and Eddie entering the Farrah office. You see them walk into the lobby. They receive a text for the game day, which then introduces our cat further. You see them walk in with the cat. It's a beautiful shot. I love it. It's so simple. Just two individuals walking in, animated cat on the side of them, and the cat ultimately sits down and engages with the energy, kind of starts up that run that the energy has, that it goes up through the building, out the top, down a bunch of roads, and really that shot is probably, that shot might be my third favorite shot in the entire piece. I really want to talk about what I think really was my favorite sequence in the entire spot. Yes, the hero shot at the stadium is beautiful. The Jacksonville Jaguars Stadium really kind of makes it, along with the motivation of the video boards and the ribbons, the four Farrahs as we called them. That's beautiful in its own right, but I really think my favorite sequence, my favorite shots in the entire spot are with Dahlia in the mock courtroom that they have at their office. So we see Dahlia sitting at a chair. The energy is rumbling and it catches her attention. She stands up and walks over to the window. Energy flies in front of her face, and then that's the end of that sequence before it ultimately goes up the corridor, the courtyard, the main lobby that is open, and then out the building. That Dahlia sequence, I just fell in love with that overall look from the get-go, and it probably was what I was most excited to shoot in the entire 2 days, even leading up to the production. The log component of Fair & Fair. So having that integrated in just kind of tied everything. Once we finished inside with our talent, it really made for a remarkably successful 2 days with the Farrahs and the Fair & Fair team, the agency reps. It was great. Had a lot of fun, and it really kind of showed what you can deliver with a minimal setup.